Let me take you back, not just thousands of years, but into the soul of a man who, at the peak of worldly success, faced a trial that no sword could win. His name was Naaman. We don't know much about his early life. Scripture doesn't tell us whether he came from nobility or poverty, but one thing is clear: Naaman rose. He rose like a desert sun. He was a warrior in Haram, also called Syria, a commander in the army of Ben-Hadad, king of Haram. He was strong, brave, intelligent, and most importantly, victorious. The king of Haram had great admiration for Naaman, because through him Haram had won countless battles. Naaman was the kind of man kings honored, soldiers feared, and poets sang about around fires at night. In today's terms, imagine a man like Naaman as a decorated five-star general. Think, uniform gleaming with medals, media calling him a national hero, respected in presidential palaces, feared in rebel zones. A man who's used to barking commands and being obeyed without question. A man who can say, "Jump," and the nation asks, "How high?" But beneath the steel armor, there was a secret, a shadow. Naaman had leprosy. Think of that CEO with a booming empire but struggling with depression. Or the Instagram influencer glowing online but battling a chronic illness in silence. Naaman represents the people we look up to. Their strength loud and public, their pain quiet and hidden. In a world where image is everything, what happens when your weakness is one you can't hide forever? Leprosy wasn't just a skin condition, it was social death. It started small, maybe a tingling numbness, a white patch that wouldn't go away. Naaman might have kept it secret at first, covering his arm with longer sleeves, dismissing it as fatigue. But it spread, and no amount of military medals could protect him from what he feared the most: rejection. What's tragic here is that in the eyes of men, Naaman was unstoppable. But in the mirror, he saw a man slowly falling apart. Now, here comes the twist. In Naaman's household was a young Israelite girl. She had been captured during one of his raids, a slave in his wife's service. Let that sink in. The same man who led troops to destroy her people was the man she now served. And yet, it was she who changed his life. She told her mistress, "If only my master could see the prophet in Samaria, he would be healed." That was bold. She didn't say, maybe. She didn't suggest an herb or a charm. She pointed to a man of God, Elisha, with faith so unshakable, it shattered class, war, and history. Sometimes your breakthrough won't come from who's on your level, but from someone beneath your radar. That in turn, that cleaner, that child you overlook. God often hides his greatest help in the most unexpected mouths. Never despise small voices. Naaman's wife went to her husband to tell him the good news the little girl shared with her. Naaman didn't hesitate. He acted on it. Desperate people will try anything. So Naaman told the king what the young girl from Israel had said. "Go and visit the prophet." The king of Haram told him, "I will send a letter of introduction for you to take to the king of Israel." But the letter didn't say please. It said something more like, "I'm sending my top general, heal him." Talk about diplomatic pressure. When the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes in dismay and said, "Am I God, that I can give life and take it away? Why is this man asking me to heal someone with leprosy? I can see that he's just trying to pick a fight with me." And just when it looked like chaos, Elisha stepped in. "Let him come to me," the prophet said, "and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman, with horses and chariots and an entourage worthy of a king, rode up to Elisha's house. Dust flying, soldiers shining, the noise of importance. But Elisha didn't come out. He sent a servant. Imagine that. The mighty Naaman expecting a royal welcome. And instead, a messenger steps out and says, "Go wash in the Jordan River 7 times, and you'll be clean." No ceremony, no oil, no waving of hands. Just go dip in that muddy river. Naaman was furious. "Are you kidding me?" he roared. "I thought he'd come out, call on his God, wave his hand, do something dramatic. Aren't the rivers of Damascus, the Abana and the Pharpar, better than any of the rivers of Israel? Why shouldn't I wash in them and be healed?" So Naaman turned and went away in a rage. It wasn't just about water. It was about pride. He wanted a miracle, but on his terms. How many of us miss our blessings because they don't come the way we expected? You prayed for healing. God sends you a diet. You asked for promotion. He gives you humility. You wanted deliverance. He tells you to forgive. Naaman's story teaches us that obedience is often the bridge between brokenness and breakthrough. One of Naaman's officers, again a lowly voice, reasoned with him. "Master, if the prophet had asked you to do something great, wouldn't you have done it? Why not just do this simple thing?" It pierced him. Naaman swallowed his pride, got off his horse, took off his armor, walked into that muddy river, probably looking ridiculous with each dip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing changed. 5. Still the same. 6. Doubt creeping in. 7. And suddenly, skin like a child's. Not just healed, renewed. Sometimes the miracle isn't in the first dip, or the 5th. Sometimes you have to keep trusting, keep dipping, even when nothing seems to change. Healing often takes persistence. Naaman rushed back to Elisha, this time not with pride, but awe. "Now I know," he said, "that there is no God in all the world except in Israel. Please take a gift." But Elisha refused. You see, the prophet didn't want Naaman thinking healing was for sale. God had made a point. Grace is free. But something else happened. Naaman, this once pagan war general, asked for something strange. "Please let me take 2 mule loads of earth back with me, for I will no longer offer burnt offerings to any god but the Lord." Why dirt? In those days, people believed that gods were tied to the land. Naaman wanted a piece of holy ground to take with him, a reminder that the God who healed him wasn't limited to Israel. Sometimes after God delivers you, you want to carry a piece of that moment with you. Maybe it's the church where you surrendered, the book that changed you, the friend who helped you. We all need anchors, holy reminders of where God met us. As Naaman prepared to return home, fully healed and spiritually awakened, he made one final, heartfelt request to Elisha. With humility, he said, "Please forgive me when I go with my king into the temple of Rimmon. When he leans on my arm and I bow with him, I don't mean it. My heart belongs to the Lord now." You see, Naaman was still bound by duty as a royal official. He would have to accompany the king into a pagan temple, not out of worship, but out of protocol. And yet, this man who once knew only power and pride now had the courage to say, "I may bow outwardly, but inwardly I stand with the Lord." And Elisha, full of wisdom and grace, replied, "Go in peace." The prophet didn't condemn him or demand he abandon his post or his duty. Sometimes your environment doesn't change immediately after your encounter with God. But what matters is your heart's direction. Like Naaman, you may still walk into difficult spaces, but now with a different loyalty, a different spirit, and a God who sees your sincerity. Final life lessons. 1. Your title doesn't make you whole. Naaman was a national hero, but still broken inside. 2. God can speak through the least expected. A slave girl became a prophet in disguise. 3. Obedience over ego. Healing came not through strength, but surrender. 4. God's ways are not our ways. Sometimes your answer is wrapped in humility. 5. True transformation shifts your worship. Naaman went back to his country, but not the same. He was healed, humbled, and holy. So today, if you're facing something that no status, wealth, or intelligence can fix, Naaman's story is for you. Strip off your armor. Dip in obedience. Let God do what only He can do, because healing doesn't always begin in a hospital. Sometimes it begins in the muddy waters of surrender. Thanks for watching. If you found this inspiring or insightful, please share it with someone you love. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories like this.